This is Dan Hardy, you're watching MMABay.
So Dan, what have you been working on since we last spoke to you?
Just more of the same stuff, to be honest. I'm making sure that everything's sharp, and then I've got the gas to go the full distance. 25 minutes instead of 15.
Okay, has that made a big difference to your training camp? The longer the fight?
It's just made the training camp a little longer is all. Normally I do an 8-week training camp, and this week, by the time I get to the fight, it'll be 14 weeks. So I did like a 2-week lead into the camp and then 12 weeks solid. So that's really the only difference it's made. It's just it just allows us to have an extra 4 weeks closer to the fight to increase the volume a little bit more.
Okay, what do you feel you've improved the most during this training camp?
I think all round, to be honest. I can't think of a particular area that I've improved the most. My striking's sharper, my wrestling's better, my jiu-jitsu's better. I'm just working everything solidly, and obviously my conditioning is a new level.
Okay, this is obviously the biggest fight of your career. Do you think this has been the hardest training camp that you've put in since you started?
Without a doubt, it's the hardest training camp. Normally at this point it's fight time, and now I've still got another 4 weeks to go, which is going to drive me nuts. Yeah, it's been a tough one, this one. It's been I'm getting through the days, but it's difficult sometimes.
Okay, like you say, you're 4 weeks out. What's the timeline between now and when you fight?
Well, I'm here for next week in the UK, and I fly out on March the 7th to New Jersey, and I have 2 weeks just north of Newark, training in a gym up there. I'm training at Joe DeFranco's gym, and then I'll travel down to Newark for the last week, fight week.
Okay, are you feeling any added pressure coming into this one with the extra exposure that you're getting? We've got the primetime cameras in this morning in the gym. How's that affecting you?
I like having the cameras there, to be honest. It makes me push a little harder. Obviously there are added pressures in this fight because there's so many more eyes on this fight, and the primetime series is just going to draw more attention to the fight in the end. So yeah, there is more pressure, but I love the spotlight. I like all eyes on me, and I like to make sure that when I'm doing something that I enjoy, people are enjoying watching me doing it.
Okay, last top primetime season we had BJ Penn running along the seabed. What can we expect this time from the Outlaw?
It's just hard work from Roughhouse. You know what I mean? We don't do anything special. There's no real crazy training sessions. It's just it's just getting through the sessions. Just hard work. Sharp pad work, heavy wrestling. Lots of fresh partners for jiu-jitsu, so we're constantly changing. Just hard work. That's all there is to it. There's no fancy crazy training sessions. No jumping out of swimming pools and all that kind of stuff. It's just basics.
Okay, George St. Pierre has been quiet in the lead up to this one, as ever. Are you comfortable with the bad boy role, the non-fan favourite coming into this fight?
Yeah, I'm always used to that role, to be honest. It seems to be leading up to fights, I'm not particularly liked. During the fight and after the fight, people like me for a couple of weeks, and then I'm back to being the bad guy again. I don't mind. I don't think there's anybody in the world that could fight GSP and make GSP the bad guy, because he's just, smiling and bowing all the time. You can't get a nicer guy. So whatever I do, I'm always going to be the bad guy in this fight, and I'm cool with that. It makes me it makes me want to prove people wrong because people are doubting me.
Okay, and last weekend we had UFC 110. I noticed that in the press you spoke about Michael Bisping's fight with Vanderlei. What was your take on the fight?
I thought it was a great fight. I thought Bisping always gets a raw deal. I mean, sometimes he deserves it. Sometimes he upsets people, but we all do that from time to time. I thought it was a good fight. I think the only thing that swayed it for Vanderlei was the end of the first round with the guillotine and the end of the last round with the knockdown. Other than that, I thought Bisping was moving well. He was countering well. He was more aggressive. Maybe he wasn't quite as effective as Vanderlei on those two because of those two instances at the end of the rounds. But I thought it was a great performance from Bisping.
Okay, and have you got any messages for your fans or GSP before we finish?
Just GSP, just be training. You know, just be training. Don't underestimate me, because I want to fight the best GSP that's out there. I don't want people to say, you know, he's not taking this guy seriously, because I want to make sure that when he gets in there, he knows that he's in for a fight. And to the fans, just tune in. It's going to be a good fight.
Okay, and have you got any sponsors you'd like to mention?
Tap Out and Zion's and Earache Records and DanHardyMMA.com.